Hello everyone, how are you all doing?
And his big mouth.
Yes, Scratch Man.
Hello, how are we all doing?
Yes.
Hello, how are we all doing? Sorry. There we go,
Good afternoon.
we're all live.
Evening. Good
And-
morrow.
So, we are back at it with One Piece podcast after a week break. So how's we all?
Are you well?
Aye. I'm doing very well, how about yourself?
I've got my new setup, so I'm happy.
Absolutely. Lovely One Piece picture in the background.
I have the reason why we didn't have one last week,
Mhm.
so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Aye.
Well, as you can see, I'm sporting some new One Piece merch today.
Mhm.
Me figures that were a present off one of my friends, folded cardboard.
Look good.
So I'm showing them off because the camera can't quite encompass the canvas down here as
Mhm.
much as I'd like. So I might move it down. But then if I move it down, it's hanging off the corner.
Yeah,
So
problems. What about switching its place with like Zoro's? Like bringing it down and moving it across and then...
I've already put the nails in the wall.
That's a fair point. We're sat here doing... So this week podcast we're going to be doing pretty much house improvements. How to improve Aye.
Yeah, well, welcome to
Redecorating.
improvement. Yeah.
Redecorating. So yeah,
Back to topic, sorry guys.
back to the topic tonight. So today's topic we are going over Jaya and Skypeia, and then we're going to tier list them again, going from it. And there's a lot.
Hopefully we've got enough time.
Exactly. We hope we have a because there's a lot to cover here. I mean,
Do you know what? I was thinking as well, just this morning going over points that happened, and I was thinking there's so much.
there's so much that we're
But it's the
missing.
same. Yeah, it's a lot.
There's a lot. I mean, I looked back over a couple of episodes and I was like, oh god, we're going to do two of them in one. We're just going to have a lot to go through. And starting with, like I said, you've got Jaya. Jaya starting with, you've got straight away coming into the world, you get the cross comparisons with Usopp. Straight away, it's just like the liar. And
Yeah.
that story, it just made us laugh all the way through.
Yeah, when he's talking, look, Usotsky Norland, and like he's like,
It's just like not related. It is funny though. They compare them all the way through, and I always love the fact that Usopp's lies somehow don't turn into lies.
that's it as well. They compare. That's another thing because Luffy says to him, "Oh, are you this guy in this book, the liar?"
Mhm.
And Usopp's like, "It's not me."
You got the nose for it.
Later on in Dressrosa, he pretends to be related to that guy.
Yes.
Aye, it is brilliant, and you know that there is a lot of comparison there. Usolando. Aye.
Usoland, yeah.
But just like I said, the opening of the island and you get to know the characters that you first meet. I mean, this is the first time we meet Blackbeard in person. So we talked about him in the last chapter.
Teach mentioned, yeah.
Teach. He does get mentioned in Arabasta as the person that Ace is after. And
I think it gets mentioned in Drum first.
yes, you get mentioned in Drub Island with Wobble. And then it goes on to Arabasta straight after because it just pings up from there. And I love the comparisons that when you go to the bar and you see both Blackbeard and Luffy sat down, it says, "Oh, this is amazing, I could die for it." And then it says, "Oh, this is disgusting, I could die from it."
Yeah.
You just have the complete polar opposite.
It already sets them up as opposites.
Exactly, and it just means that ultimate rival where they're completely opposite, except for the personality is so in line with each other in terms of like, it's just like,
Over cherry pie, mate.
I know, cherry pie. And it's absolutely brilliant. And I think that's one of the big things about it. So going on, this is the first time when we actually start seeing damage to the Merry as well. Like we start seeing all the damage to the Merry, and Usopp's, is, let's be honest, he's a jack of all trades, and this chapter completely proves he's a jack of all trades.
Jack of all and master of none.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, he made Nami's weapon. He's got a master of shooting. He's very techie, and he's fixing the ship, and he has no knowledge of any of that. And he's picked up a cannon. I mean, look, he picked up a cannon and shot the cannon first time, and went, "Oh, I didn't actually expect to hit it first time."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
So, so it is.
That'll do. I'll take that.
It is brilliant.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So, let's get back to Jaya before we talk about Usopp too much.
I mean, but yes, going on straight on this bat, we get straight into the island. We find out the relatives and find out the story, what's happening about those, like, let's just say Usopp the liar, like just the family resemblance.
First, you find out because the ship falls out of the sky on them, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
exactly.
This shipwreck just comes down and like
the salvage people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
going from Sky Island.
Masira. You had an interesting description of Masira earlier on this.
I
The
did.
monkey, salvage monkey.
The salvage monkey. He very much just looks like Wreck-It. He looks like a cross between Wreck-It Ralph and Apple Scratch. Ooh, actually, can I say that?
Yeah. It's pretty.
Pretty time skip.
Is it free?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Pretty
Yeah, you meet him in Sabadi.
Yeah.
So Apple Scratchman. He's basically
Man,
got,
Apple, yeah.
he's got his big mouth. He's got his headphones on, and then it's just Wreck-It Ralph because he's just a big gorilla.
Yeah.
And like I said, you start off there and you just go straight, like from there you're getting straight into the island, and there's a lot of unique characters that we meet. First of all,
yes, Bellamy's one. Like I like Bellamy. I hate his fruit, but I like Bellamy.
Alright.
Yeah, he's a very interesting character. He's just sort of like, as I say, like he's got a devil fruit. He's going to take on the world, and he's got the attitude. He's got that sort of, because I've got a devil fruit, I am the best.
Yeah, that's the thing I dislike so much about his fruit is because Luffy is effectively able to do what he can do without his fruit, with a different fruit. He can do everything Bellamy can do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he doesn't apply his fruit at all, does he?
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that is seeing Bellamy do the spring technique was the catalyst for him thinking, maybe I can use rubber to pump blood to get Gear second.
Yeah.
It's a good theory, like you said, good side to it. And you'd think that Bellamy would have picked up what Luffy's doing, because Luffy uses his fruit more effectively. Like, think about this.
He doesn't use his fruit when he fights Bellamy, though, does he?
No, he doesn't. He just proves his superiority as a fighter. And
he goes like that.
Yeah.
That's the sound effect I imagine.
It's just a nice little dead.
I've kind of got the thing of a frying pan. You know, he's coming along and just and he just falls to the ground.
Wow, these things are more effective. That's all I can get from frying pans. But get away from Disney. Let's go back to One Piece. There's you meet a lot of unique.
In a web there.
I see what you did there.
Tangle there.
You need to let it go though.
Oh Jesus!
All right. Going back to it though, like Baron Bellamy, you meet a lot of his show. Oh, thank you very much, Pastel, for a sub. Thank you very much for the sub. Really appreciate it.
20 pence.
20.
Good evening.
Good evening. But yeah,
that's my family.
I get. Like you said, you meet all of. I'm doing the thing. You meet all. I keep getting distracted. Like, you meet all of Blackbeard's crew individually, and he just prompts them. So you get the first one just shooting.
Also, it's the first oversight towards Doflamingo as well.
Yes,
it is. Yeah,
there's a lot of like little calls into there for Doflamingo, and I love how the parallels of the crew that you meet are going to be parallels to the people that Luffy's crew is going to fight on a one-on-one basis. So we've got Luffy and Blackbeard. I can't remember the sniper's name, but he's shooting seagulls out of the sky. Van Og. I'm trying to think. Don Q.
Out of curiosity, like, what was your first reactions to Blackbeard? Like, what did you actually think of him as a character?
Honestly, I thought, oh, this guy's class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was just the way he was just sat outside, and he was like, oh, Pirates' dreams never end. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, he's a good fucking
I'm
guy.
drinking.
Like,
I've never gone from liking somebody so much to hating somebody so much so quickly.
I felt, I'll be honest with you, when I saw the opposite of Luffy, I was like, I thought of him exactly as I see him now. Is, oh god, he's a polar opposite of Luffy. He's going to be someone Luffy's going to have to face. You know, like that kind of.
Yeah, I got that feeling.
And then
I kind of liked him.
Yeah, so I had that flip of like that flip of being against him, then flipped onto being his friend, and I was like, oh god, he's telling dreams never lie. He's giving Luffy what he needs to hear, which is pretty much in that bar fight where Luffy and Zoro just don't fight, and they take everything. It's because
that's a massive form of character growth for them because
like
it's not their character to go, oh, do you know what? Yeah, I won't fight.
Exactly, you don't fight. And at the same time, what I love about it is the fact that they don't raise a fist because they know they do not need to acknowledge them. They do not need to basically acknowledge them as rivals. They don't see them as any kind of form of pirate. Like, they don't they don't see them.
Because Luffy's got his new bounty by this point as well, 100 million.
We didn't know that until, like, obviously,
but they don't know.
Exactly. And the whole
He
reason
still thinks he's got a 30 million bounty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Exactly. And the whole
Blackbeard, when he finds out, says, I thought 30 million was small for a guy like him. And I was like, oh.
I mean, to be fair, if I had 30 million on my head, I'd hand myself in and just be like, yeah, can I just take the money?
Can I have my own bounty, please?
Yeah.
I'm saying, Sam, I would sell you for that.
I mean, I'd sell you for a pound task, but we're not going there. But
You
yeah,
have to beat me first.
I'd just say, hey, look, there's a one-piece shop over here.
Tass has
Yeah,
got
you'd win.
Tass has got Chopper's bounty.
So
I'm just the pet.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, the other week you were doing Chopper impressions with the door, so makes sense.
That's fair play.
The whole plan we'd planned out 2 weeks ago. But I do love that speech. The whole speech of dreams, when the dreams died, dreams never die and everything. It comes back to speaking of the Willardy, and it brings up that big point of, people's dreams never die. As long as they have a dream and desire, they'll continue to do it. And again, with going back to Honest F, when he goes saying, like, when someone's got a goal and they've got a dream like that, they're the worst enemy to be.
Yeah.
Having the polar opposites.
Make an enemy of somebody who's willing to do whatever it takes.
Exactly.
Without any fear of failure.
Exactly. And you're seeing both Blackbeard and Luffy in this point. That's going to be a world clash somewhere down the line. And I cannot wait for that at any point in the story. Obviously, it hasn't happened for anyone. I'll give that a little bit away, but because the story's still ongoing for everyone.
There was a brief clash in Impel Down, but
we're not talking like it's in a full-on fight. We're talking a
full fight.
It's like that was like a playground slappy fists. That was it. You know what I mean? Got broke up by someone like, all right, break it up, and that was it. Obviously, at this point as well, and Bellamy doesn't fight and everything goes through. Yes, Tass, do the thing. I see it as well. I see it. It's right there at the corner of my eye. See, bounties are not revealed, and then Luffy and Zoro just don't fight. Stand there and take the beating because they don't even acknowledge him. I mean, if you think about how they are as pirates compared to Luffy, they are puppets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a good... Literally puppets. Yeah. They are puppets. They're not pirates. They're not even acknowledged by Luffy at this point because they are all not worth his time. And the only time that Luffy decides to fight them is when he realizes that someone else friends. Exactly, and that is Luffy as a person. I don't know if you saw the video I saw the other day. Oh, how did you join the crew? So Luffy beat up this person who held me captive for Zoro. For Sanji, Luffy beat up this person I've called as a father figure. Nami, Luffy beat up a pirate to save my village and my family and got revenge. There seems to be a trend here. Yeah. You go all the way through, and then you get all the way down to Frankie, and it's like, how did he make you join? Well, I clutched him into joining the crew.
We'll leave that for another episode.
Yeah.
Coerced is one word we'll use.
Good thing.
Imagination.
Good thing we're a nice mature stream for this for a reason.
Fantastic.
But I think
this also brings in Norland
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
Mr. Chestnut Head.
And the City of Gold.
Norland.
Absolutely.
Who obviously...
Shall we rank Bellamy while we're here on this topic?
I've got the ranking right over here. For some reason, Alvida's been dropped out, but let's just put her back there.
Oh, she's okay dropping out.
It's alright. She's not like she's doing anything. So we got this one nice.
It's that whole, if she dies, she dies.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as we're aware, she might be dead. She might be dead for as far as we're aware. So anyway, so yeah, Bellamy.
We've got Wapol out as well. Wapol's not in there.
Why is he? For some reason, it's not saying. Where did we put Wapol? I think we put him down as Marine, didn't we?
I think we put him as civilian.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a.
He was just not good at all. I mean, the only thing he had was his own invention. That was the only thing good about him.
Yeah, he's a soggy piece of gammon.
Soggy piece of gammon. Even Luffy wouldn't eat that gammon.
Yeah. So Bellamy.
I
would put him no higher than Marine.
Yeah. I mean, out of all of them, yeah.
I mean, he's strong, and he did crush that other pirate crew that were about, but he got absolutely handed.
Yeah. Am I right in remembering that the stronger the character, they are closer to the left, or is it to the right?
Left is the strongest, yeah.
Left is the strongest.
Left is the strongest.
Because obviously we had Don Krieg.
I'd probably put him behind Don Krieg and ahead of Kiro.
I would think it'd be ahead of Don Krieg because, with his speed...
I would put him at the top of that list.
Yes, because with his speed of his Devil Fruit, Don Krieg might have the tools available, but at least Bellamy does have the speed advantage and he can get the flanks on him. So if you're looking at it in terms of fight, and if he just picks up Don Krieg and floors him in the air with himself, you know what I mean? He's literally going to die from fall damage, as any good video game has.
Fall damage.
But yeah, I definitely think, like I said, he's probably the strongest out of Marine. I would say Marine maybe just on par with going into Shibukai, because if you look at who we've got in the Shibukai with Buggy, I think
that thought. Bellamy versus Buggy.
I think Buggy would win still, because honestly, if you think about it, he's got his Buggy balls and he can break apart his body, so as soon as he goes to attack him, he could just split himself up. And like you said, if Bellamy just gets his hands, get his foot caught on him, he's going to go and he's just going to lose his flight pattern. And Buggy does have that tactical advantage, in my opinion. So there is a lot of I think, like I said, I don't think he would win. Especially, like I said, if we know what we know about him pre-time skip about Buggy, when we meet him again. Buggy's brilliant. Buggy's one of the most fun characters there is, with a lot of shit. Did we really know about that? Holy crap, he's got all of this. He has all that kind of surprise factor.
His backstory.
And I'm pretty
sure... I think he's still going to have a lot more to do as well.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to see big things from him again.
I think so, yeah.
And the one thing I think would be good, though, is, like I said, if Bellamy knows what we know about Marineford, about Buggy, Bellamy wouldn't even lift a finger towards him, because he is that much of a coward. He is that much of a coward. And he just fear...
I don't think it's so much that. I just think he'd be like, oh yeah,
yeah,
I'm not going to fight him.
Sorry, I'm distracted by your daughter walking around just like, hello.
Oh yeah, she's a handful. She's got an elephant.
She's got the elephant. Oh, bless her.
Is she looking at the kid?
She's saying hi to us. Hello.
This is my chopper.
This is your chopper. Say hello. Hey. Oh, bless her. But yeah, definitely think, like I said, I don't think he's 100% afraid of, but he'd be 100% afraid, but I think he'd be cautious and he wouldn't choose to fight him in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Again, in the same principle, he did fight Luffy again when he seen him again.
Yeah, but he thought that was a fake.
Being humiliated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's after times. Yeah, when you get the Colosseum. But again, at that point, he has improved himself. So again, false sense of power, if you know what I mean. I think. Whereas when he really fought him again, in Jaya, he thought it was all a fake bounty and he was talking shit, basically. And I think that kind of like just put him in his place. So the whole getting to Skypeia in the what is it called? What was the not reverse mountain? It was
knock up stream.
Knock up stream. Yeah. So when they did the knock up stream to get to it, I think that was a big. You did see a lot of things, like a lot of material fly off Merry, and I think that was kind of a sign that
it was amazing as well. Just going back slightly, that whole sort of transformation of the Going Merry. Like how much
to the
work
chicken Merry.
To the chicken Merry. Yes.
Here's your random question of the day. Do you remember what Bellamy's first mate was called?
Sarquis?
Yeah, big nice Sarquis.
Boom.
I'm gonna keep the scorecard for you.
Hold on. I've got something for this.
Christ, well, I'm screwed then.
I'll tell you the answers before.
Breaking things. Just don't worry about it. We have a scoreboard.
Here's another question. What's the name of the bird they needed to find the way to the knock-up stream?
Give me a sec.
It's the Southbird.
Yeah, 1 point to Anis, 0 to you, Sam.
Are we just doing the between me and Anis, is it?
Yeah. Which one of the Straw Hats captures Southbird?
I, for some reason, think it was Usopp. I don't remember.
For some reason, I don't say Chopper.
It was Robin.
Oh,
was it Robin? That makes sense.
When she seen it, and the hands went round and caught it.
Yeah.
So we're one piece here.
These are the things I know of the Jaya arc.
Can't even see it because of the reflection.
That's it. All of our knowledge is gone.
Yeah, that's it now, done.
So yeah.
Well, that's good. We can move on to the entrance into the next arc,
which is Skypeia, lovely.
Which is Skypeia.
Which I think was really a good arc, to be honest with you. I think it's very underrated in terms of.
Yeah, I've gone on record saying this before. When I first watched it, I didn't enjoy it so much. But it was because I think I was so jaded with how good Arabasta was.
Yeah.
But when I've rewatched it and I've actually paid more attention, I'm like, yeah, no, that's just solid good.
You know,
what it does do really well is a good bit of character development in abilities and like learning a bit more about like lesser characters' personalities.
Yeah.
And it's the first time we actually see Haki.
Yeah, properly.
Yes.
Mantra, as we'll call it. One of the things that I did love about this arc in general is the fact that it brought in the new weapons, the dials. Like,
the dials,
they were really amazing. And not only the dials, there was a very subtle Dragon Ball Z reference in this one. Does anyone know what the Dragon Ball Z reference was?
2 points, Dennis, if you get it right.
Oh, no, I'm out. I'm out. That one's way beyond me on that one.
Does this mean I get a point for him just quitting? But yeah.
You asked the question.
The reference was them not being able to breathe because of the altitude. When Goku first went to Kami's place and was training with Popo.
Yeah.
And that was a lovely reference, I think, because it was like saying, right, we have taken in consideration you're high up. Oh, God, your stamina's weakened. And I think that made him a bit stronger in general because as he's fighting in high altitude, you've got to hold your breath and, you know, you're going to have less of a less oxygen. I can't even word today.
And it goes to show us... Sorry, Anna's gone.
I was just going to say, it's not too bad for Luffy. He's Rubber Man. He can just literally expand his lungs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It shows the difference like as soon as Wiper turns up, and he absolutely cleans Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy out in a second.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it was his tools as well. It's yeah.
And then obviously, the Night of the Sky, Ganfall turns up to save them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, his question.
It's
Do you remember what his horsebird was called? 1 point.
Connis with his daughter.
Connis was the angel, yeah.
Who also had magic.
Ganfall's little bird / horse, Pegasus. That wasn't his name.
Oh, that wasn't his
Perrier.
Pierre.
That's it. I couldn't say it. But yeah.
Get to make a noise and then go, that's what I meant.
That's it. I said Perrier. I thought it was Perrier, and I was thinking,
yeah.
Perrier. Oh, it's a cheap sparkling wine.
But the one thing I love about being Skypeia is that they are actually literally on clouds. And I like the callback saying if you stay too long, you're just going to start sinking all the way through.
Yeah.
And
diving in as well.
Sure, that doesn't it at one point? Like, isn't it like it does show them like stood in one spot and it just slowly.
Yeah. And I think it was one of them. Who was swimming it? Was it Chopper or who was swimming it? And like Usopp, and he like went all the way through the clouds. And then Luffy had to go.
Put his arm through and Robin put her eyes on his hand to see. I love that.
Probably not the worst thing Usopp's done, but it just shows, like I said, how amazing, like how much it is. One key point then. So on this arc, Luffy's now got 100,000 bounty. They're on Skypeia. 100 million bounty, sorry. And the whole world's completely different. Nami's trying to learn how to navigate in the sky.
Yeah.
Because it's different.
That there's no reference for.
Like, there's no reference, nothing like that. You meet Connie, who's learning knows mantra and doesn't know how to control it, and you learn that Skypeia has a god, effectively.
Yeah.
And effectively meet God's wrath, which I think was amazing. Where NL. I see spoilers now. Like, it's not really because we're talking about it, but NL's like sat there, miles and miles away, just electrocute someone with the wrath of God out of nowhere, just because he can. And I think that was like kind of like oh shit, we now have the wrath of God, and it's another weather-based route, similar to like what saved Luffy. So do you think this puts people's thoughts in the head? Was Luffy being saved by God earlier? You know what I mean? It just gives that.
No.
Yeah, exactly. But it just gives that kind of like, hold on, is this the same thing? If you know what I mean, like, because we don't know anything at this point, and I think that's quite interesting, and it gets used. But yeah, anyone want to continue on for a second on that?
Yeah. So obviously, we find out that they've actually entered illegally because they wouldn't pay the
fee.
The entrance fee because they said what happens if we don't, and she said, well, you can go in. So they go in, and then the white berets turn up, don't they? Crawling, hiss up.
Yeah.
And then Chopper calls them perverts, I think.
I remember that. Oh god, I remember that. And obviously we see a lot of fighting in this. We do see a lot more of the crew fighting all the way through.
Yeah, we have all of God's priests.
And
through the ordeals.
Yeah.
I think one of my favourites. I don't know where my favourite moment in this is with NL though. Hey, thank you very much for Helmanades. Thank you very much for the gifted subs. I really appreciate it. Really brilliant. Thank you so much. I'm going to put some hearts in the chat. Same for Lana there, Pastel, because there's some more hearts for both of you.
Thank you for supporting Goku 726.
I mean, I watched a couple of episodes. Like, well, I say episodes. I watched a couple of clips on this arc, and one of the things I do like about this, and I'm not sure where we are in the story with it, but is think it's the first time we see Zoro's cannon.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those where it's that realization, like you see him coming down, like don't know his enemy's name. One point,
Bahara.
Mm-hmm.
Bahara. So he's coming down a cloud chute towards
Yeah.
Zoro, and Zoro's like, yeah, take this.
Like, you sat there, you've got a pistol, I've got a cannon.
Yes.
Because he's got the light guns, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm. That blinds him. Which I thought was a really good weapon, because you think of it, you're blinding your enemy and you're shooting them so they don't know where they're dodging.
Yes.
Which is a really good strategy. Hey Silva, how you doing there, buddy?
Good evening, Silva.
There's a lot of
After day.
There's a lot of amazing fights in this as well. Like, everyone's got their own kind of amazing kind of fight scenes, and they've all got kind of little fights. Even Chopper's, you get to see Chopper properly fight again. So we haven't seen that since Arabasta.
I think he's called Gadatsu. Is it that one? Who Chopper fights?
I think it is, off the top of my head. If someone can prove us wrong, please let us know in the comments or in this chat. Hey, Kitty.
Gadatsu's the one that Zoro Chopper fights.
Mm-hmm.
Om is the one Zoro fights at the top. Satori, I think, is the little ball one.
There's,
and then I think it's Shura, the guy who's got the bird.
Shura, according to sorry, as I said, knowledge is shite. So I'm on the wiki. So meanwhile, the priest Shura arrives to the sacrificial altar to find that Chopper is the only one left.
So Shura's fighting Chopper.
Sets the ship on fire, and then Gamfall comes.
Yeah, and you see, there's a lot of damage happening to the ship, and then we see a mystery person on the ship.
He's got that giant fire-breathing bird, hasn't he? What's it called, Fuza?
And
I
think one of the favourite things about this this part is there was the ghost repairing the ship, which we know about which we'll talk about. Are we going to talk about that when we do the landing, or we want to save that for next week?
Yeah, save that for next week. Yeah,
because again, yeah,
because that's when we really find out about it.
We have technically G8 as well in there, G8 Water 7, and then we have.
There's Foxy. Don't forget.
Oh yeah,
fucking Foxy.
We can't forget Foxy.
Unfortunately, we can't. The amount of times we've been taking the piss out of it.
The only saving grace from the entire Foxy thing is fucking Afro, but.
I don't know. I love Zoro and Sanji fighting. Let's leave that though. We'll come back to that debate another day. Let's put that on hold. I think one of my favourite moments is Sanji buying time. He just runs up and he tries attacking LL when he knows he has no chance of beating him.
Yeah.
And he just sits there and he just goes, "Thank you, I really need the light." And he's just standing there with a cigarette. And it's just just that moment was just brilliant in my opinion. Just
badass.
It's
thank you.
And I think this isn't the first time we start getting the meme faces, is it? With NL, because I think we had one from Warple before, didn't we?
Yeah.
Hi Kitty as well. I didn't know if I said that. But yeah, we get the meme faces, and at this point, to be honest with you, I did forget, honestly, that he was made out of rubber. I knew his body was rubbery, intent, but I didn't think it was effective against NL. In the sense, I kind of completely forgot about that until he got hit, and I was like,
"Yeah,
why did I forget that?"
You're welcome, Silver, because I'm in the same boat. I mean, I'm talking about this with very little knowledge, and I do need to watch it again, and it's like
do it.
I mean, look at the little figures, and I was gonna say, Tash, show them the little figures behind you there on your little beer top. Show them, and just that there is proof that you need to go watch it, because look at that crew. Look at that crew. It's a representative and skill to the right scale.
With your daughter,
bring them over for you.
With your daughter just sat there, just yep.
Breaking the things. He's breaking them. He's breaking all the things.
By the way, Tass, what is your daughter up to? She looks like she's having a whale of a time.
She's playing with jigsaw pieces.
Okay, that's fine. I saw her in the background, just okay, she's
a toy box is around there, so.
Okay, she's fine.
So, technically, we're watching and babysitting her at the same time.
Yes.
So, crew.
Got Monkey D. Luffy.
Your boy Monkey D.
Monkey D. Paper.
Monkey D. Paper.
Zorro. Which I love, these are all...
Zorro.
There's this time skip as well, which is brilliant. Have a lovely Nami.
Nami.
Multitasking at its finest, yes.
Are these all time? Well, actually, no, Frankie isn't.
The nose. The nose just makes it... See, I've physically seen these as well, which they look a lot like they look amazing when you see them. We have the Sanji. They are cool indeed.
Oop, that's alive. Next one. Where's she gone?
And Chopper.
Oh,
The little E's on the side as well. They are amazing.
The little attention to details, like his little cat, like
and Robin. I was gonna say. And then there's the Frankie,
even with his little robotic nose as well.
And then we have Brook, non-time skip. I love that he's got his walking stick as well.
Yeah, and obviously Jinbei inbound.
But they don't know anything about that either, which you told us, which I found was brilliant because they don't know anything about why you want Jinbei.
Oh, Chopper's nose fell off.
Must have been. That's not good. That's not good. Pretty much what my leg looks like. Just need to finish colouring it as soon as possible. Yeah, Silver, you need to send us updates on that in my Discord as well. For anyone who's not in the Discord as well, !mark Discord, pop in there and like I said, talk about it on One Piece. We've got a Twitter set up as well.
Podcast piece.
Well, helps if I say it right. I'll third time's a charm.
Come on, Sam, do the thing. Do the thing,
Sam.
Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you very much, Queenie. I will remember the thing. I will do the thing. But going back to what we were saying about NL, like the whole moment, I completely and utterly forgot about NL's power. We forgot to rate Jaya, but we'll come back to that as an arc. But Jaya, like I said, when we fought, like when we first saw him get hit, and we just I completely forgot and went,
yeah, it's that.
Oh, and the face.
He was under no illusion that this is going to be no problem. Do what you want. You're not going to hit me. You're not going to hurt me. And all of a sudden, like,
yeah, it's just that holy crap.
And it's just the whole. He's just stood there and he's like, meh. And he's just like, get away! And then just that, and he's just like,
SpongeBob face.
Yes. We will try it third time. There we go. We got it right. I mean, I got it right the second time. I mean, I got it right above, but for some reason, oh no, it did work. It's just another thing popped up. I mean, I keep offering you to use some Sharpies to colour in, but he never lets me. I mean, if you're going to do it, Kitty, you're going to use permanent marker. You've got to leave it there for a few weeks. You can't just use a Sharpie.
I don't know, you can get permanent Sharpies, can't you?
That is true. But if you're getting a pack of them, that probably won't work. Alright, Queenie, have a good day at work. Sorry, go ahead.
Take it easy, Queenie. Sorry, just like obviously we're talking about the NL fight, and obviously coming towards the end of the fight, and I'm slowly but surely scrolling through the wiki, and then this pops up.
And
literally it just appeared. It's just like
I mean, there is someone who's done the art, and I will find it and I will get it posted on Twitter, right? Where they've got all of those faces coming in one out the other in the mouse. When it came to when it got to Usopp's one, they had like Luffy's, they had Usopp's, they had NL's, they had Warple's, and they had someone else's face who does it. And I think it was what's he called? Mask face in Marineford. What's he called?
Oh, yeah, the CP9 head honcho.
Yeah. Him.
Spandam.
Spandam, that's it. Goddamn Spandam.
Yeah, I know, he's another fucking frump, isn't he?
He's only powerful because of his lackeys.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, why are we talking about Buggy right now? It would be funny if it wasn't true.
Yes.
But going back to it, like I said, the fight between NL and Luffy, it pushes them both past the limit because NL's never really had to worry about anyone. He's never really had to.
Yeah, he's
care.
never had any. He's never been really hit, has he?
No.
He's also just been that pinnacle of where he is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm in this place, nobody can touch me.
Exactly.
Like, anyone that does come in, like, I can beat them within a heartbeat.
Exactly.
But at the same time, nobody's come
challenged
to Skypeia.
him. Yeah, no one's challenged him. No one's really put him to his place. And I tell you what, my favorite moment straight after that is after he survives it. He's like, calm down. He can't hit me. He can't do any damage to me because I'm made out of lightning. And all of a sudden, he just gets he just takes his rifle to the stomach.
Hit.
And then at that point, he realizes he needs to, basically do the thing. He needs to like properly fight this guy and take this guy seriously. And not only does he have to do that, Luffy now has a problem that he can teleport as electric. He's very fast. He can't hit him because of Mantra being able to read his movements. He's got to figure a way out. And I loved when he did the deflate attack and he was just bouncing off the wall and like just flailing against the wall and just hitting him. Mm-hmm. And the fight goes on really well. And we haven't really touched on it, but the moment about the golden bell as well. Like it says the golden bell moment where Nolan's family was like, we'll ring the bell, to signify everything. And Luffy carries on that dream, that will, shall we call it?
Yeah.
And it comes back.
It was the proof that Skypeia existed, wasn't
Bingo.
it?
Yeah. So that there brings it back full circle to me that Luffy's now doing this on behalf of someone else, and that will's been passed on, and it does bring in more. One of the other things is we don't really talk about it much as well is the poneglyphs. Don't really get mentioned much.
That's what I was going to bring up. Once we got past the NL fight, because it's obviously proof that they're following the same path that Roger did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Roger's signature was on the poneglyph, and we don't know how. At this point, we don't know how Roger's able to write on the poneglyph.
We don't know. We do know ourselves who read the manga as well a bit, but we can't talk
now. But then we didn't.
Actually, no.
Even
Even
Robin said like she was reading it and she was like,
"How
does he know how to do that?"
And even before time skip.
I can't remember. Does Robin reveal what's on the polyglyph in Skypeia?
No,
that's just a history one.
Yeah, it was a history.
Yeah, just the history.
Yeah.
It's nothing about the ancient weapons or anything. And then...
Well, the ancient weapon one was actually at Arabasta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With
Cobra, because Cobra said to her, why did you lie to him and tell him what it was now? She was like, he doesn't need to know that.
If he does know that, he would have used that weapon against everyone.
Yeah.
And that's why I think one of the things that Luffy pretty much accepted her without condition, because he knew she wasn't a bad enough person, or she didn't want to destroy the world.
And she'd saved his life.
Exactly.
Touch on that early on, saying like the fact that obviously she's now part of the crew as the archaeologist,
yeah,
as the history person, which is very apt. The fact that they go to Skypeia and there's a polyglyph there, and she's just like, oh, okay, it's just history.
Mm-hmm. And
lovely. Let's move on to the next one.
And that's the reason that the person she fights on Skypeia was destroying the ruins. I think he was called Yama.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
I remember her just making
the big guy. He had the axe styles on his sash, and she turned them the other way around.
Mm-hmm. And then she rolled him down the hill,
and then rolled him off the cliff. Yeah,
which was brilliant because she just made like that little trial and just went bowling with him.
Yeah,
strike one, get down the get down.
Bowling.
But yeah, I think like you said, the Skypeia, going back to the Golden Bell because we keep going off in different directions. The Golden Bell, the giant Luffy in the sky, from the shadow. The whole, the Skypeia is still alive. Clearing Nolan the liar's name and his family. And even I remember Bellamy and Blackbeard looking up and seeing it as well, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Which all correlates. All this is happening in real time in a short period of time, and everyone's now has to acknowledge the fact. Even Bellamy, who didn't believe in dreams, didn't believe in Sky Island being there.
Yeah.
Finding out has no excuse at this point. And
just very quickly, with the bell, how does Luffy get the gold? Get all of the gold on his arm?
I remember this.
I can't remember.
He tried attacking.
He punches the bell.
Yeah, but how he got it was when he was fighting him.
Actually get it on his arm?
He was fighting.
Yes.
He's fighting an L, and then he like heated up with his electricity the gold, and then just shaped it into a ball around his fist. Just the slowest movement.
To weigh Luffy
Yeah,
down.
because NL pretty much went, right, yeah, I can't really beat you, but I don't have to right now. I can just throw you off the ship and leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I'll accomplish my own goal that way. Mm-hmm. And then he used that big, what was it called, Rygo, I think it was, the big giant ball.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got the wiki there still, Anis?
I do, yeah, but you'll have to bear with us just for a second whilst I find it.
We'll see. I'm pretty confident that's what it was called, the big ball.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I think it was as well, Frigo.
Sanji gets attacked. Back at the ruins.
Yeah, because he diffuses it by jumping into the center of it
mm-hmm.
and using himself as a lightning rod.
Mm-hmm.
Basically throwing his arm about with a giant golden ball attached to it
mm-hmm.
to destabilize it.
And Luffy also does the attack where he just does a rifle into NL into this, and he couldn't dodge it because obviously the electricity.
He's in that big form.
Yeah, and shatters it.
The wiki does not actually say what the attack is called. It just literally says he attaches a golden ball to Luffy's arm.
Well, that's a little bit of a shame, but yeah, going on about it, like one of the things we haven't really touched on is Usopp being a hustler here as well at the end of this episode. Yeah. Does anyone remember what happened?
Swapping rubber bands for a dial.
Yeah. And then not only that, the entire crew takes pretty much all the gold from the island as well. Yeah. Being able to go, right,
out of the snake's mouth.
Yeah. Literally just takes all of the gold, all the treasure, and goes, yeah, we're pirates as well at the end of the day. We're just going to take this as a reward.
It's funny because they were going to be given more gold for free because that gold meant nothing to them, but giant column. They were like, oh, do you want this? And they were like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, we'll take that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, might as well. I still, like I said, going on to like a bit of the next one, Water 7, which is going to be not next week, the week after. I love it when they're like, oh, you have to pay for this, and they just see how much gold they have, and like, like, how have we got that money?
Yeah, get treated like royalty.
Mm-hmm.
But as I said, just going back to the Usopp thing, it's a good bit of development for Usopp because obviously he doesn't have a devil through. He doesn't. He's just literally their sniper with a strange looking
slingshot,
basic.
Yeah, but he even uses the dials he's got to improve Nami's climb attack as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
he does.
Which is cool. Like it's another unique thing.
He always thinks about what he can do instead of what he can't do.
He's always finding things. Going, I can use that to do this.
You see what?
I just remembered one of my favourite moments from Sky Island was when Zoro, Nami, and Robin on the ship, and they want to go on the land to explore, and Zoro stood there with his vine.
Oh god, I forgot about that as well.
And then
doesn't Nami hit him?
Do it and fails, and he goes, "It's because you didn't do the noise."
You have to do the noise.
Yeah, and then it's echoed again during the fight with Sasori when there's Luffy, Sanji, and Usopp. When Usopp's got that belt with the grappling hook that he calls Usopp
oh god,
yes.
I remember it.
Oh my god, yes.
Just a little. That's also the second time he does Usopp hammer, Usopp hammer, Usopp hammer, Usopp wagoom.
Oh god, I can't wait until we see like Usopp's hammer when we go on to like later in the arc when we meet Brook as well.
Yeah.
But there is so many moments in this. Like I said, I said it last week, like not last week because I'm telling a lie. I said it the week before. Usopp is really an underrated character, and I think when you look at him, I
feel very much along the same lines as you. Was that as Usopp is vastly underrated.
Exactly. If anyone hasn't known, I know Anis has cosplayed Usopp as well, which with the nose as well.
Very badly.
But the nose.
Got that target up there.
What, this one?
No, because if you notice, he hasn't hit it directly. He hasn't. He's used that as his test.
Yeah, that's just my test one. I mean, I will like say like the like I've literally just looked because I'm going, hang on, did I actually hit the targets? And it's just like, oh yeah, I got a couple of 9s, but there's not a single shot that's in the red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's.
So that's before he cosplayed Usopp, just to point out, guys.
Yeah, it was before I cosplayed Usopp. If I try it again, maybe I'd be better.
Mm-hmm. I like I said, it's always weird when you're watching it, right? And you like you said, you're watching the series, and everyone comments about the monster trio. But I say Usopp's underrated. But I don't think he's the only one. I think everyone in the crew is underrated in some way.
Your thing is you're jaded by the monster trio because they are that strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
it's not. No,
they get the screen time.
They're weak, but those guys are just that much stronger.
Yeah. And you look at it, and they get them all the screen time when it comes to the fights as well. They get more fights in general because that's what they're there for.
They're the main fighters.
Exactly.
They're just the main 3, aren't they? But...
Exactly, and they all have their own unique powers.
So, shall we
go back?
Yeah. Shall we rank Jaya first, Sam?
Yeah, we'll rank. Well,
before we go to the arc, shall we get an L?
Yeah, I say we rate an L, and then we go and rate both the arcs. The one thing we haven't talked about with NL as well is he wasn't really defeated by Luffy. He just went to the moon as well, apparently. To the moon.
He was defeated.
He was defeated, but like he still walked away from the fight.
He ran away with his tail between his legs.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He ran away with his tail between his legs.
I mean, in my personal opinion, though, if you look at everyone else Luffy's beat, no one got up after that fight straight away. Like if you look at that list now, all of them were down for the count. NL still got up and walked away.
I've got to point out as well, NL died technically.
Yes. Oh, we forgot about that with the Dals. He technically died, and then he restarted his own heart.
Reject dial from an inch away, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he restarted his own heart.
So that brings out the question: can he actually die if he's he can, like you said, if he can restart his heart again?
Yeah, throw him in the water.
Yeah, but how are you going to throw him into the water when he can just lighten himself away? Technically,
hacky.
Pick him up, throw him in the water, and like when he's in midair, he just then redirects himself with lightning.
Yeah, but it depends how hard you hit him.
True.
That then brings on another question. If you did manage to get him into the water, would he then electrify the water?
Just see all the fish just rise.
It wouldn't work.
Hey, look, there's Jinbei.
Instantly nullify his devil fruit power, wouldn't it?
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah, it would.
I'd still find it funny if he did, and then it just electrified the water, and you just see Jinbei's body just floating there. And the Sun Pirates, the ship just comes up and goes, "Oh damn!"
Oh dear, we've just lost a third of One Piece.
I mean, you're laughing, but it'd just be funny, like you said, just seeing it. And I don't think he's got the firepower. Technically, how much voltage did he hit Luffy with? Like,
I think he do 100 million.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you'd see some fish and some sea kings that'll just float in the water if he did.
It definitely added the shock factor if he did that, wouldn't it?
Bum.
You definitely got some. If you didn't do it, I was going to do it. I was going to go. It gives you some chills that are electrifying as well. But, it is.
Right. Come on then.
Let's rate an L first, then we'll go back to Jaya, rate Jaya where we think that is, and then we'll rate Skypeia.
An L is Yonko.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
He's definitely like I said, Yonko. I don't think he's as good as Mihawk or Crocodile.
I think he's better than Crocodile.
I don't know, because technically Crocodile could use Haki. We don't know it.
Yeah, but we know Enel can.
Depends on what Haki though, because you're thinking of, because if he only can use Mantra and he can use Armament, he still has the advantage over it. So it is a bit of a... So I'll tell you what, we'll put him between, because I do think Hawkeye is definitely stronger than him.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100% Hawkeye. But yeah, I do think it's going to be a cross match. It depends, because we don't really see much of Crocodile using Haki or anything.
And Crocodile's got a bigger glaring weakness than Enel.
Yeah.
Like, normal water is like, you could just throw a water balloon at Crocodile and he's like, oh no, that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do the same. Could you not do the same with an L and give himself her own shock? Because it might.
Well, no.
If you like kind of put water on a battery, it fries itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, but he's not a battery. He's lightning.
He is.
He would. I think.
It would just go through him. The thing with Crocodile, with his sand, as soon as the water hits him, the sand solidifies and makes him tangible.
And if Enel did that to Crocodile, Enel did that to Crocodile, he then makes him a conductor of his electricity.
Let's just say that they both got beat by Luffy and leave it at that.
Yeah.
No, I think that's right. I think that's right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
2 against 1 and that's, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, look at it afterwards. Enel got back up and carried on. Crocodile got sent to jail.
Yeah, I'll give you that point, because like it says, Crocodile dropped dead pretty much, and then Enel just got up and walked away and cried about his injuries later. But yeah, definitely in the encore, definitely more than the others that we can see on the list as well, except for Hawkeye, because Mihawk just completely takes the cake for me out of everyone we've seen so far.
There's nobody else there who could hold a candle to him.
Exactly.
And
He's another question for your scoreboard, Sam.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. What did he call it? Where he wanted to go that we know is the moon. What was Enel's name for it?
Ooh.
Quick, wiki. Help me, wiki.
Cloud End?
No.
Oh. I know, like, that's what I thought it was.
What's Cloud End? Cloud End was, well, the end of the cloud. Without
I can't remember. I can't.
Fairy Verth. Yeah, that's the one.
Getting it off Google though.
Yeah, I'm cheating.
-1 point. No, I'm kidding.
-1 point it is. I'm in the lead. This is going to be like Tass's weekly quiz that he's going to give us like 3 questions a week.
Oh, no, right. I'll ask his questions all the time, me. Like, here's another one then for you. The Ohm's dog, the priest who Zero beats. What was that dog called? The one that could box. What?
The one that can box?
Bob? No, it was called Bob.
See, this is way beyond my
pay grade.
My pay grade. What? You're getting paid?
Yeah, no, only in kind.
Fuck. I'm trying to think. I can't remember.
I'll give you a clue. It's used as a Christmas decoration sometimes.
Ornament?
Bauble?
No, it's a plant.
Oh, a tree.
Oh, mistletoe.
With little red berries.
Oh, holly.
Hollyberry.
Jesus, wept. Took you too many times, that.
Oh, well.
-1 point for both of us.
Just Sam.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I couldn't remember. I mean, not the worst thing I've ever said came up with it, so yeah. This is going on to it now, though. At the end of this arc, this is where the anime and the manga do split up. So it's where we're going to like follow the anime. On the next week's episode, we're going to go into G8.
Yeah,
and then
we've skipped a lot of fillers, but this one is just it deserves an honourable mention in my opinion.
Like this filler is actually one that I actually do enjoy out of any of the fillers. And then we got our lovely Foxy to go on to as well with that arc like next week, which Tass looks so ready for. Look at that smile on his, look at that smile on his face.
We all are.
I don't think I can hear anything more.
Well,
Honestly, don't like. And I
You know
love
what?
One Piece, but man,
what would it take? What would it take for Foxy to be good in your books?
if he was dead,
Oh God.
We also
We're gonna
need to
swap
rate
back.
the arcs as well.
Oh yes.
yeah, game, we do.
I don't think either of these are in the Yonko level, in my opinion, because there's a lot.
Agreed.
Silver's just said, "Wow." Silver. I was expecting him somehow to say that he comes back and he knows how to use his devil fruit properly because it's so overpowered.
No, because he does know how to use it. It's just
He does it for stupid reasons.
it went on too long for me. It was
Yeah.
there was no progression.
Yeah. And the worst bit is he's not even filler. That's like the bit that kind of gets everyone.
I think that's the reason I've got so much beef with it. It's because there was just they didn't
There's
go anywhere from it.
Exactly.
It should have been a filler. It should have been a filler arc, but it's actually canon.
Exactly. And I agree. Like I said, it should have been canon. It shouldn't be canon. It should be filler. But at the same time, because it's not, I think that's. It's technically not because Foxy's not filler. It just expands the story into a from canon to filler. So, it is just expanding the character's knowledge.
Definitely didn't need to come back though.
But we'll get into that next week because I know like Tass is gonna have a.
I'll try and keep my comments.
I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll wipe this board down. We'll wipe this board down. You can now do a pros and cons for Foxy, which is just going to be a con list. It's just going to be a con list. Do you want it?
It's
Not double-sided though.
He is just a con man.
Yeah. There are some good bits in the arc though. Let's not be honest.
Yeah.
Like, there's some good bits in there, but overall it's just like
none of them involve Foxy.
exactly. You know, the overall consensus is it just went downhill as fast as the ship did from Skypeia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
arcs.
Back. Come on, let's reel it back in.
Right.
Jaya.
Jaya.
I actually think Jaya is Shichibukai level.
Yeah, I'd put it there at a push.
I was going to say just at the
I
push.
don't think it's good,
Mhm.
but again, it's just a short, quick arc. A lot of good things happen,
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So,
but I don't think. I think overall, Skypeia as a whole was better than the little Jaya bit.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's why I was
Jaya.
pushing Marine first and then Jaya into Shibukai because I don't think compared to like the rest of the arcs we've seen, like it's in terms of coming out of Crocodile and going into the next arc, not the filler arcs, it is as powerful. It is like that kind of breaking comedy, in my opinion.
It's another one of them. It's kind of like it's an informative arc, isn't it?
It is,
It
yeah.
is.
I'd say there's
Jaya,
a lot. Of,
like you learn a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot of character development. You learn about the personalities, but not really a lot happens.
yeah.
So
You meet Blackbeard.
And I think
yeah.
like the build up and the dolls do help later in the story. So if you know what I mean, like when we go into Water 7, which I am really looking forward to, and you know that Marineford 7, that double arc is going to be 2 weeks away, and I cannot wait, and I am going to go back and rewatch it again because
Mate,
that-
Water 7 and Ennie's Lobby are going to have to be 2 separate episodes, I think.
Yeah.
potentially yeah. Because I remember that Water 7. So when we got to Ennis Lobby, Blue Note was the one that got me back into it because you were just watching it, Tass, when we were, when I was in uni, and you were sat there and like, I'm just gonna put
Blue
this
Note,
on.
by the way, not Blue Note. Blue
uh,
Notes from Fairy Tale.
I was just about to say Blue Note's Fairy Tale, but Blue Note, yeah, his fight was brilliant. Yeah, that's what got me back into it. So I'd say Shibukai would be my Skypeia and then Marineford because I think they're quite close to each other. And one's like, I think Skypeia is slightly better than Jaya.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking,
I'd be inclined to agree.
because like I said, like I said, it is more of like a build-up story than it is of a full arc on its own. Same as like,
Jaya is
Yeah.
Jaya is good for the long run because, as you say, it introduces us to characters that will
It
be
sets a lot of
significant.
people up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
brings a lot of
sets a lot of
knowledge.
people up.
It
And
shows.
Skypeia is slightly better because it obviously the characters develop a lot more, and you start to learn a lot about like other side characters really. And you start to see like more side character abilities as well.
The other thing I was going to say as well, are we going to put Frankie in this list as well? Because technically Frankie does fight. No. Thought about that because obviously we do see technically the fight with Frankie, but yeah.
Do you see Usopp in the list?
No, but I was going to mention that as well, to be fair, because that is a really good point.
And there's no Zoro in the list.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's just put them all in the list. There we go. Everyone in the list. But yeah, there is a lot of going to be going through next week, I think. But Skypeia.
Next week won't be too heavy. It'll just be
nice, light.
Jay and Foxy. So,
like I said, and there is a lot of callbacks in them as well. So we're going to talk about this later in the episode as well. So, do we want to continue? Any other points we want to go over, or anything else we want to chat about over on these two arcs before we call it a stream here?
Well, there's not much else to say about Skypeia, is there? Apart from obviously the poneglyph.
Well, yeah. Enel's still alive as he goes to the moon, as far as we're aware.
Fairy birth, yeah.
Exactly. And
Danfall takes back over as the god. Good choice.
I mean, the only
terrible
thing
mount.
I would say is, does the chat have anything that they would like to bring in?
Any questions?
Any
that's what we could do, you know, for the scoreboard. We could get the chat to ask us questions.
That's a good point. If you have a chat, I will then revise this list to be all three of us. And we'll get the answer. But hey, we've got Goldie Roger.
Goldie Roger's
come
on.
Anyone who hasn't seen previous episodes, his name is Roger, and he's a golden retriever.
Hey.
Goldie Roger.
He's not getting kisses though.
Yeah.
He's been eating poop today.
He's been big pardon?
He's been eating poop.
Oh, right. I thought it said. I was just making sure that I did get that right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
there was just a point where he appeared and it was just sort of like, oh, you stink.
I mean, we talked about it as well, Tass, before generally, and we were talking about before, but I think there is opportunities for, out of all of these characters so far that we know of, who like obviously looking down the bottom of this list, other than Bellamy, we're not going to see them again, really. But in terms of like going to the higher list, we are going to see them again, including NL.
One of them we do.
Yeah, I'm talking about like Shibukai and up. We do see him again. Yeah. Other than
there's one in the Marines that you see again. Not counting Bellamy.
Yeah. So I think there's going to be a high likelihood that we will see NL again in the future, and it would be interesting to see NL.
Don't even get me started on that. You're not taking that off me.
No, I'm not. We're not talking about it. I'm just saying there is a general consensus that, like I said, because we have seen them, we'll probably see them again. Even like looking down this list here, I mean, we're going to see all of these again in some point or shape or form, except for Foxy and G5. Looking this side of the list. Although, you know who would be nice to see in the new world? This guy right here. Tass's face just drops so fast.
He just comes back. Just no.
Even Roger's sat there like, you say what?
Yeah.
Kate's done with this already as well. Kate's leaving. She doesn't want anything to do with Foxy. We're all good.
I mean, that's the appropriate response to Foxy for me.
And then just chop us outside the door like.
No, like I'm rewatching it. I think I've already said I'm up to like episode 604 or something now. It's Punk Hazard, and I powered through Foxy again, and I wished I skipped.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't blame you, but like I said, it's part of the arc. If you're gonna go for it, it's your eye.
It's like Silver said, it wasn't that terrible, but if you have to say if it wasn't that terrible, that means it's some level of terrible.
I mean, let's look at the arcs around this. You've got Skypeia, you've got Arabasta, you've got Water 7, you've got Marineford, and then you've got this in the middle of it.
You can't expect an anime that's run 1,004 chapters to be it's gonna have a low point.
Yeah.
Every manga and anime has got something in that people don't like.
I mean,
and it's gonna, there'll be people that disagree with you really like Foxy. They're not very well.
Yeah, it was ill times. Yeah, it is like an ill time. I mean, if you think about it though, in terms of every other anime like in the shonen world, and you look at their fillers, I think One Piece has the upper edge on them all because let's go Bleach, Naruto at the same time. This is the big three, like the big three in One Piece. You look at those fillers. Which one would you rather watch? Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, hands down, the One Piece fillers are by far the best.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's because
excuse me, that fucking birthday cake.
But yeah, I think it's because they do a lot of. They keep it consistent more than anything else. You look at I tell you what, the only one I really liked of Bleach going on to it was when the Zanpakutos became alive.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really good one. And that's the only reason for that was because someone said, what if what's he called? What's he called? Kenpachi? Kenpachi? When we get Kenpachi,
a different anime altogether.
Yeah. When we get Kenpachi, it goes, oh, what if Kenpachi Zanpakuto comes alive? I said, don't be silly, he's just pure energy. If he came alive, we'd all be dead. It's just yeah. And that's
going to be a suggestion I'm going to put out as well as another anime to watch if you haven't. History's Strongest Disciple, Kenichi.
Yeah, I've actually got the manga up. Actually, I've been reading it at work. It's brilliant. I do.
I think it's about 50 episodes.
Yeah, I'm on 113. 113 is the chapter I'm on at the moment in the books, in the manga, and it does it justice all the way through the anime. It just when it goes to the end and they cut the anime, and the end, if you read the manga onwards, it's brilliant. And anyone who ever does want to do it, please do check that out because
we should do that. A random anime suggestion at the end of an episode.
Mm-hmm. And again, chat, if you've got any anime suggestions you want or manga suggestions, please fire away. I know there's one that I'd recommend for you all, but I know Tass hasn't read it. And I know Anis has read it because we always talk about it every single week.
Leveling Up, is that what you're going to say?
Yes.
Solo Leveling Up.
Solo Leveling. Oh, Solo Leveling is
so good a manga.
It is just...
So let's get back. Sorry, we've sidetracked again, haven't we?
Yeah, very, very much. So.
What a One Piece podcast would be?
I think it's time to wrap it up.
I think it's wrap up time.
It is indeed. What is a One Piece podcast if we don't get sidetracked anyway?
Yeah, we will thank everybody for listening to us and putting up with our absolute drivel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
really appreciate you all being here.
Join us next week for more, especially next week because Foxy's going to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy right here is going to rant.
He's here, by the way. He's here.
Follow us on Podcast Piece.
You need to be the opposite side, Anis.
He's on Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't go on, like I said, if you want updates, if you want to chat to us, send us suggestions, send it over here because we would love to hear them and talk about them. But on that note, I'm going to go find someone to read. I do have someone online I see now who is also an anime fan, so I'm going to go send it over to Ace. He's actually playing Pokemon at the moment, surprisingly enough. So he's actually playing Nuzlocke Pokemon, which I've been watching a lot lately.
Nuzlocke runs nasty.
I am planning on doing it myself, to be fair, random Nuzlocke in the future, but that's a different stream, that's a different time. Thank you everyone who's joined in, and we'll all see you in the next episode.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Drive safe, have a happy Thanksgiving.
Will he reach his next goal? Find out on the next stream of Goku 726.